Hey guys, I want to tell you about an old fisherman's best friend. You know, people always say that a man's best friend is his dog. Well, I'm not arguing with that. Dogs are loyal. I love dogs. I've had many of them in my lifetime. Dogs are loving and they're happy to see you, when you come home. But let me tell you something. A man's real best friend? Nah, I'm not talking about his wife. I'm not talking about his fishing buddy, and it's definitely not his dog. I'm talking about his favorite fishing rod. Now, before anybody gets mad, especially wives, let me just explain. Most fishermen, most fishermen own a bunch of rods and a bunch of reels. 6, 8, 12, maybe 20, if we're being honest. Maybe more than that. They're all lined up in the garage like soldiers. Crankbait rod, spinnerbait rod, topwater rod, flipping stick, usually have a couple of those. And a rod for worms, a rod for jigs, a rod that you bought just because it was on sale. But somewhere in that pile, there's one. One. That one rod. The one that you reach for without even thinking. The one that feels just right. You know the one I'm talking about. The cork handle's a little darker from where your hand's been holding it. The reel has a couple of scratches from bouncing around in the boat, fighting brush piles. The guides might even be a little crooked, a little off center. But when you pick it up, it's like shaking hands with a friend. That rod knows you. It knows how to cast. You don't have to even think about it. You just load it up and whoosh. That lure sails out there like it's guided by GPS. Now, I've got nicer rods and certainly got newer ones. And I got rods that cost a lot more money. But somehow they just aren't him. Yep, I said him. Because after enough years together, that rod starts to feel like a person. That rod has been with you. It's been there the day you caught that 10-pound bass that you're still talking about. It was there when you set the hook so hard you almost fell out of the boat. And it was there when you told your buddy, get the net, get the net. And he's standing there eating a sandwich. That rod has seen things. It fought weeds. It fought docks. It fought lily pads. And once, it even fought a bass so big, you swear it was a new state record. Everybody else thinks you're exaggerating, but you and the rod know the truth. And here's the funny thing, if that rod ever breaks, oh man, that's going to be a bad day. You know, you can break a half a dozen of the other rods. And yeah, it's upsetting, but you barely blink. Because you can always buy new ones. But you break that one rod, suddenly it feels like you lost a childhood friend. You hold the two pieces together like you're performing surgery. You say things like, well, maybe I can glue it together. Or maybe I can still use it for trolling. You know you won't. But you're not ready to say goodbye. Now, your wife might say it's just a fishing rod. And technically, she's right. But most fishermen, we know better. Because that rod was there on quiet mornings when the lake looked like glass. It was there when the sun came up over the water. It was there when everything else in life was noisy and complicated. And fishing made it simple again. Just you, your rod, and the hope that the next cast might be the one. So yeah, dogs are great. Friends are great. Fishing partners, not so great sometimes. And wives, well, wives are watching this video, so I'll say they're great too. But deep down, every fisherman knows the truth. A man's best friend is that one fishing rod that's been with him through thousands of casts, that can tell 100 fishing stories and a lifetime of mornings on the water. And if you're a real fisherman, particularly you old guys, you know exactly which rod I'm talking about. The one that you reach for every time. The one that you trust. The one that feels like part of your arm. Yep, that one. And if you've got a favorite fishing rod like that, tell me about it down in the comments. How long have you had it? I've had mine a long, long time. What's the biggest fish you ever caught with it? I've caught a couple of 10s with it, and I've lost a couple that I think were even bigger. But if you enjoy the stories about fishing and about old fishermen and life on the water, make sure you subscribe, because around here we understand something the rest of the world doesn't. Sometimes a man's best friend is made of cork, graphite, and a whole lot of memories. Thanks for watching.